Shooting USA is brought to you by SnapSafe and the full line of Trek Light lockboxes. Affordable security for home or travel. Get 15% off with code SUSA15 at snapsafe.com.
Welcome again to another Shooting USA weekly update. Last night was a new show, the Creedmoor 150. Hopefully you all caught it. If you haven't had a chance to, there are a couple of options to watch it online. But here's a highlight.
This is a black powder only event where 150-year-old technology will be reaching out to targets well over a half-mile away. Rick Weber is the match director.
And for a quarter century, I've been hosting black powder long-range matches, mostly with muzzleloaders. But when the Creedmoor 150 anniversary came up in 2024, we wanted to bring in the breech loaders so we could have a competition like the original match of 1874 with breech loaders against muzzle loaders.
This matchup of breech guns and muzzle loaders came about in 1873 as a challenge from the Irish shooting team to the Riflemen of America. With challenge accepted, the Irish team traveled to the Young National Rifle Association's newly minted shooting range in Long Island, New York.
Creedmoor, New York was the actual family name of Creed. And apparently they had a moor along the marshland, so that became Creedmoor.
The Irish brought their prized British Rigby muzzleloaders, rumored to be the most accurate rifles in the world and superior to any American-made breech-loading cartridge gun. Regardless, the 6 members of the less experienced home team fielded American-made breech-loading Sharps rifles and Remington rolling blocks, set up specifically for the rigors of long-range shooting.
So that was
Just completed a couple of new Colt pro tips for the 2025 season. Mark Rettel was in town. He and I sat down at the outside table where the mayor of Aspen Grove used to hang out because it was a beautiful day here in Nashville. Here's what Mark had to say.
We're doing it. What do you need, a drink?
I figured we'd have bourbon here and really get everybody pissed off.
So here's the deal. Like,
Oh, I get fine.
I'm in the middle of Lent, so I'm not drinking right now.
Oh, good man.
But
I don't
maybe
drink.
next time.
I don't drink at all.
Well, then what?
Interesting story.
Mark Rettel, ladies and gentlemen, Colt team shooter with me. We just finished up a couple of
Pro tips.
pretty hot pro tips.
Yeah, I've done quite a few of them, would you?
Yeah, and we were going to look back on that, but we figure at least 6, maybe 7 seasons worth.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Always enjoy coming to Nashville.
I'm going to share a couple of things today that folks will see. We're not going to give away what the actual pro tip is, but this is the one and only target used for the second pro tip, and this is the one and only target used for the first pro tip. So you can see both of those are solid targets, sir. Excellent work as always.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I always try to come down prepared, and I know we were talking at lunch before, and a lot of people sometimes say, oh, we watch your pro tips, they seem simple, then they go to do them, and they realize there's a lot more to them once they try to shoot them.
Well, there's the whole shooting portion of it, which in your case came out beautifully, and then there's the talking portion of it, the television production piece, the instructional piece. I don't think people take into account how challenging that can be sometimes.
That's harder than the shooting.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, we all have a nice working relationship. We've done it a number of times, and you have a thick skin, and you take constructive / abusive criticism very well.
I learned to read your face when I finish, say something. Oh, we got to do that over.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it's a little less about my outward reaction and more your own sort of inner barometer for what's good and what isn't.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. One of these pro tips we performed today, and of course the lawn crew just shows up right on time. Lawn crew's here.
Hold on.
He's coming this way. We'll try to keep going. Let's see if dude's going to actually cut me through here and trim while we're sitting here. No, he's not. He read the room. My guy. Good dude. One of the guns that we used in the pro tip today, brand new product.
Yes, the Colt Competition, the slide mounted red dot optic.
Yeah.
The gun will come with a cover plate with rear sight on it. There'll be 3 plates that cover 90% of all.
Just about all the footprints.
Yep.
Actually, all the footprints for the red dots that you would want.
Correct.
If the one you want doesn't fit, you don't want that red dot. You can quote me.
And a lot of people question would plate without a plate.
Right.
One of the reasons you use a plate with a 1911 also is it has such a narrow slide. You need that to sculpt it out and also have that flat platform for the width of the optic.
Interesting. Excellent. Well, I know that's going to be a very popular offering. We saw it first in SHOT Show, and we're ramping up production on those. Those are going to be to dealers soon.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited because USPSA now, limited 10 can be shot with a optic.
With an optic on it, yeah. Okay.
So you can run the extended mag if you want to run major with a 45, or run a 10 round in your 9mm, and you can
score minor, but you got your red dot helping you out,
so
making it happen.
So the National this year should be interesting to see how many people roll into that category.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be big. That gun also will play a role in IDPA, will it not?
Correct. It's the 9mm would be perfect for carry optic in IDPA.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Well, this is one of those move to Nashville type of weather days, and take it from me, you don't want to move to Nashville, but
you want to move outside of Nashville.
Yeah, like Memphis or Knoxville, or anyway. We're crowded here. Our infrastructure's crowded. You've experienced some of that. I mean, you come here year over year. You've seen this place continue to grow.
Yes. Yeah.
On a Tuesday like today, you're still seeing traffic. It's nonsense.
It is, and of course, my son's been down here for 10 years now, and same thing. It's just every day it gets more and more jammed up on the highways. Yeah. I wouldn't even know how they could fix it now because you couldn't get their cars off the road to do anything about it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing. Is like, how do they add lanes to an interstate system that's already so crowded? You're going to have to reduce lanes to add lanes. The situation just doesn't get better. There's no real good way to do it. I don't know how we got on that topic. We're supposed to be talking about guns and cars. We can talk about cars. Yeah.
I'm a car guy. It's funny how many people that are into guns are also into cars.
Well, I mean, that was Jim's original recipe, and he always said famously, it's all internal combustion. You know,
true.
Into cars, into guns. That's pretty common denominator for most dudes.
Yeah, because most of the engineers at Colt are car guys too.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, I think, like I said, it all goes hand in hand. It really does. It was interesting. We were working again at Royal Range and talking with their lead instructor, Bob Allen. He was telling me about this recent acquisition of his. He got a 2013 Shelby GT 500 Mustang. That's an exciting car. That is a lot of car.
It's a lot of motor.
Yeah. And what was interesting was Bob mentioned that 2013 was the last year that Shelby was around when they were producing those cars under his namesake, and that brought up memories for me of meeting Carroll Shelby and working on Car and Driver back in the 90s when Jim was riding around the racetrack with Carroll Shelby himself. I mean, that's just some funny memories that come out of little things like that.
Big
Fun
motor,
stuff.
small car, great recipe.
You gotta love it. Yeah, dude, it still works today. Well, that's everything for today. We're gonna, obviously this will roll into one of the or this week's weekly update. What should we leave the people with? Stay tuned to see these new series of pro tips. Those will be launching in shows likely in May. If you're at the NRA's convention, be sure to come by and say hello to Mark Ruddle himself. And
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Stop by, see the carry optic 1911.
That's right.
Optic ready, I should say. And we also release optic plates for our revolvers that have adjustable sights.
Right.
They'll be at the NRA show. Another great option. You don't have to buy a gun. If you already own any of our adjustable sight guns, the plate goes right in place of the rear sight.
Less than $100,
Yep.
and you can outfit your revolver that you may already have with a red dot optic.
With red dot optic. Yep.
Exciting times, man. Technology.
Very exciting.
Excellent. Let's do that again. You're the man, Mark. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Good job.
The deadline is fast approaching for the CMP scholarships. April 4th is the cutoff. Investing in the future of youth shooters. You got to get behind that. The Hunters HD video cast was out last night. Brian hosted Rick and Alan and Jake from the USPSA, some interesting stats were dropped there. Here are the participation numbers by division. Carry optics overwhelmingly the most popular. Another thing that I enjoyed hearing about is heavy participation in the NROI seminars. Lots and lots of people wanting to become certified as range officers. And that just speaks to a thriving community of shooters in USPSA. Just back from Colorado and Grand Junction, Cameo, and the Ultimate Hunter Rifle Challenge Invitational. And I can share this because it is significant. 17-year-old Jackson Golightly is the big winner. Check this out.
3 stage wins, high junior, and first overall, Jackson Golightly. Get up there.
That's pretty cool. Here's the Bourbon Hall from Grand Junction, Colorado. A John J. Bowman found it on the shelf for $54.99. Unheard of. Can't get that in the Nashville market. Only in November, and it is highly allocated here. So super stoked to find that. Plus that Filmland, that's one of my favorites. I picked that up last year when I was out there, and my current bottle's down to just a little bit. So got that replenished. And then a store pick Buffalo Trace for $26.99. I'm telling you, friends in Grand Junction, you guys are sitting on a gold mine. Kilauea's erupting. They have cameras, and this was captured just a couple of days ago. And here is a public range video from Australia. Glad we don't live in Australia. Well, that's it for this week's update. As Jim always said, share your sport. Actively, intentionally get somebody and get them out to the range.